Welcome everybody to Robeytech. This is a show dedicated to PC building, tech news, tech deals, all in all, just general shenanigans. Woohoo! It's gonna be a good show. I am your host, Justin Robey. You can catch me every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday starting at 6:30, every once in a while a little bit earlier, every once in a while a little bit later. But for the most part, that's when things happen here on the channel. I'm big into tech. I love building PCs. We are starting my 97th PC today. This is a live show. We're doing the entire thing live. The build is live, which means we make mistakes, like, forgetting to take stickers off of thermal paste, sometimes trying thermal paste, that's a thing that happens sometimes. We're gonna kick off a build for a very good dear friend of mine, Solus, Jen Nickel. I used to work with her over in Global Publishing over at Microsoft. She has basically commissioned this build. It is Golden Girls themed, so we're gonna be doing Golden Girls, which is gonna be cool. My wife, she has been sending me dad jokes. So here we go right here. What did the drummer call his twin daughters? And a 1 and a 2. There we go. Kicking it off with a dad joke. Let's go ahead and move to the build. Let's talk about the parts that are going in the build we're building today. Who's ready to stay golden? So starting with the CPU, we're using the Ryzen 7 3700X. This is a 8-core, 16-thread, multi-threaded beast. Let's talk about motherboard, because this is a small form factor case. And you can notice, this is an itty-bitty box. This is the X570 Phantom Gaming ITX. It's a $250 motherboard. We are using mini ITX, which means we're doing a very small build, which means we only get 2 DIMM slots, which is why we're doing 2 DIMM slots and a single M.2. We're still getting X570. We're gonna be using PCIe Gen 4 as part of this build for our M.2 drive specifically. She still gets Wi-Fi 6. This is like for the size and shape. It's got Hyper USB Type-C. It's also got Thunderbolt, which is also awesome. So a lot of power packed into this very tiny motherboard, which is pretty awesome. Small but powerful, and I can feel the power straight. Oh, that might still be the thermal paste I ate yesterday. For cooling that, we are gonna do something, because again, we are using the Betty White. It is Betty White. All white is kind of like, we wanna call it the Betty White. Potentially, oops, just dropped that. We're using the 240EX Castle White. This is 120 millimeter white AiO. We're not going to do a bunch of RGB fans. Again, the RGB is really going to come from the RAM and the AiO in general, but for the most part, it's going to be pretty much yellow. For our GPU, we're using the Zotac Gaming the 2070 Super. This was a hard one to get, but this is the specific one I wanted to get. So this is the 2070 Super. Nice small size, wanted to keep it compact. Again, it's kind of like Sophie, a lot of power in a little bitty body.
You're a horrible little person.
For RAM, because we only have 2 DIMMs, we're gonna put 32 gigs. This is a Corsair Vengeance RGB Pro. Given the other potential applications we're going to do and any multitasking, this isn't just a gaming PC. We're also going to do 32 gigs just to make it a little bit more applicable. So if she does Premiere or anything like that, which will use like 80% of the memory sometimes, account for that stuff, it gives you a lot of opportunities still there. So we're going to do 32 gigs there. I wanted to give her lots of storage space, so we're doing a 2 terabyte Seagate Fire CUDA. This is their M.2 PCIe Gen 4, 5,000 megabits per second. In terms of the overall read-write speed, which is awesome. For power supply, we wanted to stay small, so we're using that Seasonic Focus GM750. I like Seasonic. It's an 80+ gold, which is going to be great. Plenty of power. 750 watts is going to be plenty of power for the CPU and GPU combination we have here. And then we're using Asia Horse cables, which I'll go grab when we get a little bit closer. We're going to use white and black. The lighting will be all gold, so it'll be white, gold, and black is the overall theme for today. So let's show you the Golden Girls theme case. We've themed this out. For it. So here we go right here. It's a tiny little bad boy. So we got it right here. There it is right there. The Golden Girls. It says the Golden Girls on it. And then on the front, we've got the Golden Girls logo. But where we get really crazy is here on the back for really fun. And then it's right there. The picture at Skype 1922, all going in there, and then it's pretty awesome. So yeah, we really had some fun with this. I think this came out incredible. Big shout out to Josh, who does all of this custom for us. So there's all your parts. There's your case. Okay, let's open this up. Like I said, this is a small case, and again, super happy with ASRock for how they. Again, I always show this, but they always bundle these things so well. I don't think there's anything else we need in here. Nope. So the rest of that is gonna go like this. We'll do some peels. You guys ready? Peel. Oh, there's some plastic right there. Peel. That was like a partial peel, guys. I'm really impressed with the features for this, how much this has on there. Oh, it's like peeling skin from a sunburn. There we go. That felt good. Grab another one here, guys. What does a nosy pepper do? It gets jalapeno in. It gets jalapeno business. Sorry. Well, I almost messed that up. Gets jalapeno business. Okay, I really screwed that up.
You're talking like it's 1945.
So let's just do a little tour of the build here real quick. Knife time. Right in the center is the AM4 socket. The AM4 socket's been used by AMD now for quite a while. Up here on the top left, we have a 4-pin EPS connector, which we still have a pretty significant amount of cooling for the VRM solution, which means you could still overclock. Just because it's small and it doesn't have a 4-pin and say, for instance, an 8-pin, doesn't mean it's not potential to overclock. You just have to worry about heats. Now remember, we are liquid cooling this, so it's not as big of a deal, and if she wanted to push it, she could. Right here, we have an RGB header and 2 fan headers. These are our DIMM slots. Now, in many cases, you do not actually have to have 4 DIMM slots on a motherboard. It's up to the manufacturer. In most mini ITX cases, you usually only get 2. In this case, your 2 channels are left and right. In order to activate dual channel, you do need to put it in both slots. So we're going to be putting something in both slots. We're going to be putting 32 gigs in. This is the power for your ATX power supply. So this is your motherboard power. Down here is a USB 3.2. We've got 4 SATA right here. So you actually have potential of putting 4 SATA. We're not going to be using any of that. Right here, we've got a single, right here, 1 single by 16 PCI slot. And then we've got our front panel connector here. HD audio here. Front panel connectors are actually up here. So they're actually not in the normal place. So this is another thing you got to get kind of used to, is figure out where all your panel stuff is. So you've got a front panel up there, and that's it. That's all there is on the board. Now for an M.2 slot, and this is what I was kind of looking for, the M.2 actually goes on the back of the board. So we've got a single M.2 slot. This is PCIe Gen 4, and this is where it actually goes, which is fine given the clearance that we have on the back of the case, so this shouldn't be a big deal. It should be okay for thermal. It shouldn't have any thermal throttling. And it's got spacers here for basically keeping it off the back, so it should be totally fine there. We're putting our CPU in. All you're gonna do is you're gonna take this and you're gonna take it to 90 degrees. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and open up our CPU here, right here. We're gonna take out our CPU right here. This is our Ryzen right here. We do not need anything else in this box. So we're good there. So here's our Ryzen 7 3700X. You try not to touch the top. The top of this is called the IHS. It's actually the heat spreader. What that heat spreader does is it actually is what transfers heat to the cooling device, whether that's your air cooler or your liquid cooler. There's gonna be thermal paste. Many of it is included on the AiOs, but that's what the IHS is. On the bottom, unlike Intel, you actually have pins. You do not want to do anything to these pins. You don't want to bend them together. You don't want to make patterns. We don't want to make like a Golden Girls pattern in this Ryzen or anything like that. You also don't want to do things like comb your hamster, like hunt a chupacabra, basically go to like Tiny Town and trying to impale a bunch of very miniature humans.
What are you talking about?
These are all things you don't want to do with this because it's just going to void your warranty. And then the other thing too is it's also going to more than likely damage it and not allow you to use your CPUs. Now in the bottom corner right here is your golden arrow, as somebody's pointing out. That golden arrow is going to line with a really small arrow on the motherboard in the top left-hand corner. Don't be like Henry Cavill, be like Robeytech and just put it in like this. Once you put it in, you can wiggle it just a little bit. Wiggle it just a little bit. You're going to wiggle it, just make sure it's in, and then you're going to take this little tension pin and then you're just going to push it right down. And boom, just like that, your Ryzen CPU is installed. Take that, Henry Cavill, take that. Okay, let's go ahead and put our RAM in here. So we're gonna unlock both of these right here. And let's grab our RAM. We got 32 gigs at 3200 megahertz, which is pretty good and nice and white for the Betty White. Okay, so installing your RAM, you'll see this little slot on here. It's called the PCB. PCB stands for printed circuit board. You see a little slot there. It lines with a little slot on the motherboard like this. All you're gonna do is you're gonna go like this. And you're just gonna push it in, and you're gonna get a satisfying click. Click! There you go. That's nice. That's what it sounds like for real good. It sounds just like that. Click! Okay, we're gonna do the other one here. Click! Click! That's the motherboard. It's amazing how much it sounds, how good it sounds. It's just so quiet. Click. Okay, so now that's our motherboard. It's already tiny. Like we've added like height and stuff like that. So we're gonna turn this over real quick. We're gonna install our M.2 drive. There we go, there's our M.2 drive. Okay, we're gonna go and tear this open real quick. Very similar to the other one, there's a little slot in the PCB. PCB, remember, stands for printed circuit board. You're gonna slide that into this just like so. That's how you kind of know what's in, is it's gonna act like a diving board. In fact, you can take a little dude here, like here we have Kremik Man, and Kremik Man is like he's like a tomahawk missile, and then he just goes do 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 do. You're gonna hold this down like so, go to a 90-degree angle, and just screw that puppy in. And our motherboard is ready. Let's get the Golden Girl case out, because our motherboard, unlike every time where I have to put it off the side, this one I can just stick over here because it's just so small. And then we'll just take this off. So we're just getting the case stripped down and prepared. I just want to make sure that we know what's going on here. There's not a ton of room for cable like this. Like when you're used to most Phanteks cases, the one thing they did is they dipped this area a little bit lower. So it's a little bit lower. You have more room on the right than you do on, more room on the left than you do on the right. For cable management. You could put a much bigger fan in here, but we're gonna stick a single 140 just to pull a lot of air through here. In terms of front panel connectors, there's not a ton of cabling that we have to worry about. There's actually quite a bit you can get inside of this case, given its size, and it is very light in terms of its overall size and feel. We're gonna put our motherboard in, and I'm gonna grab a 140 fan and get that put in as well, so she has lots of cooling for her PC. Got a big Phanteks fan we'll stick in the front. That'll give us plenty of airflow. There we go. We got everything ready to put our CPU, very tiny, here it is, guys, very tiny. Goes right in just like so. And you have a lot of room. This case is very deep. There we go, that's it. Like there, it's in. It's very deep in terms of you have a lot of room to put your AiO in, so we're gonna make sure everything's in and all of our stuff is screwed in and make sure it's just basically ready to go. Only 4 screws. Okay, AiO, we have room in the back, so we'll get the AiO put in here real quick. I usually do the bracket beforehand while it's in. And again, like I said, I want to show you guys in the back, this like the cooling in the back, like you still have plenty of room for the fire CUDA and all that sort of stuff. We are going to get our bracket put in for the AiO. This is going to be unique. I don't think this is how you're typically going to have to do it, but I think it has to install like an AM3 versus an AM4. Which is definitely interesting. So we'll put this together and see what happens. A little bit of thinking there. This is a thinking man's game, ladies and gentlemen. Thinking man's game. But luckily I've thought through it and we have the right thing going on here. There it is, okay. Just gotta make sure it's on flat. Last one. Go. Okay, and now that goes on like that. We can continue to move forward with our lives. So we're gonna put this out of the way for now, which is easy peasy lemon squeezy. Let's get our AiO pieced together is the next part. There is our fans right there. Another dad joke. Here we go, guys. It's been a little while. Why did the golfer change his pants? Because he got a hole in one. What do you call a small psychic who's running from the law? A small medium at large. We're gonna make sure our cable's installed in the correct way. And put our single cable comb on it, which is nice. There we go. Connect that. Up here and down. And there you go, that's installed. So what I'm doing right now is I'm cooking up all of our cables. So we're gonna grab this one. So this is our back cable, our back fan. We're just gonna plug this in down here, and this other one, we're gonna zip tie it in with the other AiO stuff. So we're gonna grab our other fan header, which is up here, pull this through the back. And then this is gonna go up here, like that. We're gonna grab this one and it's gonna go in the top spot. There we go. Okay, so now our fans are all hooked up. Okay, here's the weird part. Oh my gosh. Okay, so now you can see I actually have I have everything installed. The AiO is installed now. So we're gonna front mount this AiO. Just gotta figure out how, and it does fit good. Okay, good. Just big enough. Okay, cool. There we go. Okay, all of our screws are out now. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna mount our radiator. We're gonna pull our cables through, and then we'll get this mounted. So these are gonna go through like that. AiO is installed. We have some cabling we gotta add here. These are our fans for our 2 front panel fans. So this is HD audio, which is gonna go right here. Front panel connector goes right here. Another front panel. Okay, there we go. That goes up there. And this is our RGB right here for the polychrome. That's all of our stuff that has to get hooked up on the other side. Then we can put in our GPU and then put in our PSU and cable manage. That's all there is left. So this is our CPU fan. We're gonna have to zip tie this stuff here in a minute. There's an RGB header there. HD audio, which is only keyed one way. It's gonna go right there. And then lastly, we have our 2 front panels. We have our front panels, which are gonna have to go around. So hard drive goes right here. Power switch goes right there. All of our cables are in. It's kind of a mess right now, but don't worry, we will make it look super pretty. Let's go ahead and install our GPU. Okay, let's grab our GPU out of here. It's all in this Zotac box, ready to go. Doesn't this card look good? It's just an attractive card.
And if you don't like it, just drop dead.
Side of here, we just gotta work it around here. Card's in. I'm gonna turn this over, and then we'll clean it up because it's kind of a mess right now. Once it's all cleaned up, then we'll put in our last little bits of things and then get power to it. Let's fix this mess, this rat's nest, which is easy. It's actually not gonna be as hard as you think. It's really about channeling here. So I'll be covered by our cable things. There we go. Nice and clean looking, nice and simple. You want it to make sure it looks good, so that's what we did. We're gonna go and peel this. Boom. And we're going to the next thing. Okay, so that's ready. That's gonna look good. Yeah, see, look at that. Dude, that looks so nice. Doesn't that look so nice? Just little things, the little things. Let's throw our PSU in real quick, and then let's turn it on and finish it out. So we're gonna hook up our PCI, and then we need a single SATA. Throw in our SATA there, and there's all of our cables that we need. There we go. We're gonna finish the little bit of cable management we have left, and then we're gonna turn this on. That's it. There it goes. Okay, there's that one. CPU. There we go. VGA is like this really wonky cord. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's in. Okay, the last cable I have to hook up, which is just the SATA cable. And nobody's SATA when it's the last cable. Ha ha ha! So does it get old. Look at that. Zip tied up. You guys ready? Golden Girls lockdown. Golden Girls are on. Get the front of the Golden Girls PC on. And there we go. PC is ready. Plug it in. There we go. There we go. Whoa, stop. Okay, and there we go. Okay, on and on. Wow, that is loud. What is it hitting? There it is. Ow, ow, that hurt. Ow, that hurt. There it is. So it's got the non-proper boot device, and we are officially posted. Congratulations, guys. Let's celebrate PC number 97. Thank you for being a friend. I super appreciate all of you joining me, being a part of us building this amazing Golden Girls rig. You guys have a great night, and we will see you tomorrow.